So here's a little update on our greenhouse we got off Amazon. So far so good. We've had some pretty strong winds, I'd say, since it's been up, on and off, but you know, it hasn't budged at all. It's still holding its shape. We actually got snow as well, and it sagged a little, but you know, melted quickly and no major damage, so that's good. And most importantly, it's doing the job of starting all these seeds. So over here we have flowers, Dianthesis Milkweed. It's a different type. It's not like your traditional milkweed you see. This one's a little bit prettier, I guess you could say, the flowers. So we decided to grow some of that just for the butterfly's sake. Daisies and some other ones I can't pronounce, so I'm not going to butcher it, but there's the label. So I definitely sowed them a little close, so hopefully they are able to grow and I can separate them. I've never really started flowers before, so we'll see. Alyssum, that is going to go, we have a lot of rock areas, so we're going to put that throughout those rock areas just as like a nice ground cover. Then we have some more growing, snapdragons, marigolds, and then moonflower, which has not sprouted as far as I can see. I only planted 2 of them. You're supposed to soak those before you plant them for 24 hours, which I did. So I got to double check the label and see exactly how long they take to germinate, because I'm not sure if we're going to be successful with those. But more marigolds for the garden. It's like just a generic marigold. And then over here, there's cauliflower. We did 2 different types of cauliflower and 2 different types of broccoli, just to see which one kind of worked better. And then Brussels sprouts, we will be separating these. We pretty much did 2 to 3 per peat pot just to see how they took. And we had pretty good germination with those, so we'll split them up before we transplant them. And then back here we have a bunch of beans. Sometimes I just give these guys a little help if they need it. But overall, the Kalima didn't germinate. Well, that one at least, the other one did. Which is fine, because normally I plant like 1 more than I need just in case. Nasturtium, this one didn't take, but those 2 did, or those 3 did. That bean didn't take, so I have a couple more that I'll probably transplant, or that I'll probably repot and sow directly outside since the weather's a little bit better, but we will see. Some are doing really well though. Down here we have some celery. This is actually a pink celery. It's pretty cool. I think it's called Chinese pink celery or something. So we have some of that started. And then a bunch of peppers. That's a loofah gourd. So we'll see. I heard loofahs take forever to grow and they're a little bit tricky. So we'll see about those. I only did 1, I guess. And then more peppers, which some are germinating. They take forever. Not a jalapeno, that's like a jalapeno, but it's not supposed to be as spicy. And then that's a pumpkin spice jalapeno. And then some other ones like bell peppers, banana peppers, and then some fancier varieties. We don't really do anything too spicy, just because we don't really like it. And if Macy were to grab a hold of it in the garden, we don't want her to burn her mouth off. So this one didn't take at all. This is lettuce back here, Gentilina. So I will try to germinate that again. If not though, I don't know, maybe the seeds just weren't kept the way they should, although they were stored with all these, which are doing well. So arugula, we got to get this stuff outside soon. Some other blends, Rocky Mountain blend that's called, it's just a bunch of different ones. Merlot is a type of leaf lettuce, kind of like a romaine. Butter Crunch, Little Gem. I think that's all that's in here. I did a bunch of those because we really like those. It's like more of a traditional lettuce. Not really iceberg, but kind of like that, I guess you could say. And then back here, we have some peas growing really well. I definitely am going to stake those soon. I did 2 per pot, so they're already starting to grab a hold of each other for strength and support. So I need to put a little stake in those and get them outside as soon as possible. We still have to kind of amend the beds a little, but they'll be out soon. More lettuce. This is kind of like a romaine as well. More peas. Those 2 are peppers. That's why hopefully they germinate, but they haven't yet. And then a bunch more peas, all different varieties. The Little Marvel did not germinate, so again, I'm going to try those, and if not, I have extra, so not a big deal. And then the tennis ball lettuce also did not germinate, so I'm going to try that. Eggplant, we have one so far. I did 2 different varieties of eggplant. I forget the names off the top of my head, but some are doing well. And then calendula, flowers, and then those are cauliflower. Got a couple coming up. Over here are sunflowers, which not all took, so not a big deal. I can always plant more. And then we have tomatoes, which are my favorite. So these are all a larger variety back here. Dad's Sunset did not germinate, so I got to plant that, and Hungarian Heart didn't either. That's kind of like a paste tomato. But the rest did, so that's awesome. And I did do 2, I think, in some of these, but not all. So like orange peach, I didn't plan on planting 2, but since there's 2, I might just, plant them anyway. And then these are a smaller tomatoes. Like the spoon tomato I'm excited for, that's new this year. They're supposed to be extremely small, like the smallest tomato around. So Macy loves tomatoes, so I'm sure she will love those ones. A couple other ones didn't take, so I'm going to need to try to germinate them again and see what happens. And then we have some cucumbers, a couple different varieties of those, which I think pretty much all of them except this pot took. So that's pretty good. These are Macy seeds. You can tell they're a little, she even put the sticks in, which is why that one's upside down. But those are sunflowers, and then she grew some alyssum too. So I tried to do something that wouldn't be overly complicated, just in case. But that is what we have so far. I was going to direct sow a couple things like squash, for example, and pumpkins. We're getting closer to our frost date, but I'm definitely not, I'm keeping the majority in here unless it's cold hardy. So like the peas will be going out soon. Kale I'm going to do directly sown in the beds. So we have a lot more to do with the raised beds, but so far so good with our starts. Then I have some succulents I got from a friend. Not entirely sure if I'm doing that correctly or not, but hopefully I am. So we will see. But overall, that's what we have going on so far. So I'm going to plant a couple more and then hopefully be transplanting within the next month or so.